Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Ruel. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Boy, he look dead already, don't he? Anyway, you see the title. Next few years will determine the future world order, right? So, once upon a time, this was a taboo subject. And now, the doors have been blown open and sea theories have been proven to be actual factuals. All of these things have happened through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because it is just that time. All right. I see the U.S. president previously admitted that the post-World War II system had run out of steam. All right, and the first thing I thought about was Albert Pike, how he, quote-unquote, predicted 3 world wars and how they would set their, the elites would set their system up, how each war pushed something. So it took you from an agricultural to a after World War I, from an agricultural to a industrial to World War II. And, of course, this is losing steam, as he said, or as he was told to say. And, of course, moving into what is officially already started. You can't tell me any otherwise. So we're moving into the digital age where man and machine are merged. So there were many different accomplishments and many different technological advancements in World War II when it came, because this devil excels in stealing, killing, and destroying. All right, all the bombs, all the types of different advancements in radar and tracking and missile defense and all kind of stuff like that. Everything had grew, and it continued to grow up until now. So what's left is just to merge it with man. And, we understand what that entails. And we'll get Revelation. Actually, we need 2nd Esdras 13. Excuse me. We need 2nd Esdras 13. But I want to just pull it up anyway over here. And we know this is where it leads. So Revelation 13:16 causes all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man may buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or of the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, understanding all of this, we know that, most folks ain't going to go for it. We're going to need some sort of crisis, some sort of false FLAG. Wait, let's go back to where we were. We're going to need some events to, spark the motivation. And fear is a great motivator of people. So here's oh, wait, that's next. So I found the 3 world wars, and this is from 2018. And this thing has already been proven. This is in some of the books. They always talk about this. So there's no fact checking. There's no disproving. None of this is up for debate, except for maybe some minor nuances or what have you. So you see the copyright was in 2018. And let's see. All right, the Second World War was, to get the Zionist movement going and put them folk in a land by way of British imperialism. Okay, so them people in 1948 being put in that land is nothing more than an extension of the colonialism of the British Empire, how they, still killed and destroyed and committed mass genocides in different lands, especially in Africa. I forget the name of the man. Damn. Somebody wrote, you know what? We're going to find that. Which Zionist? And forget my dog snoring. for assistance. I wonder if this will even be, if this is even gonna go through, or if it'll have some. Let's see, Origins Resolution, not Balfour. It's not that. Is it Theodore Hertz? Hertz? Oh, he's the founder of it. We gotta find that. Man, we gotta find that. If not, I will put it. Just make sure you look in the description box. I'll present the names and who wrote what and some things that you can look up. See, Austrian Empire now, Hungary, blah, 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 blah. He organized World Congress Zionists. Who cares? Oh, this is just about his life. Nobody really cares. But yeah, look in the description box for that. I'm gonna get that before I post this video. Abaratazai. Oh wait, we need to go back. Okay, so yeah, we went from agricultural, industrial, and now we're on a digital thing. And then we also understand this was about putting them people in a certain place, and basically they're just trying to establish a pseudo birthright. They're trying to take the place of the actual of actual Israelites. And they now let me just read this. Okay, so the Third World War. We'll go here. So he must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agenters, right? Because they wanted to provoke let's go back. Second World War, communists were made strong enough being taken over by the weaker governments. I remember that they invented both these movements. In addition, let me go back a little more. Second World War must be formed to taking advantage of the difference between fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so Nazism is destroyed, that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of that, okay? And in here, during the Second World War, international communists become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be the restrained and held in check under time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Okay, so all of these things were orchestrated, not by him. The Lord allowed this to be orchestrated. This was all the doing and the working of the Lord. Why? I need another tab because I can't remember. Let's see. All right, so that dang, why didn't I think about that? It had to be Daniel. So Daniel 2:21, right? He changed times and seasons, and he removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. All right, and then you also want there you go. And that's Daniel 4, and we'll just go to Daniel 4:17. But we're gonna put our finger in right here, 2nd Ezra 13. I'm gonna have to shut him up. Daniel, because he distracted me. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. And of course, we understand that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And the wicked are the people that you see over there in the land, because they are bastards dwelling in Ashdod. Damn, I don't need that. Those are the ones that own all your media. They like to call themselves by a color, but they're actually a different color. They're actually pink, a derivative of red. All right, so let's see what we got for the third. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents. They have all the agents to spark insurrections and make folks move certain ways and orchestrate these things and orchestrate these wars and these conflicts and fund each side. Okay, and the differences caused by the agency of the elites between the political folks and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Z-words mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. Why? So that way, when the elites who have caused this problem, they'll present you a solution. All right, when you have nothing else to fight, when you have no more money to give, no more ammo to shoot, no other solutions to present, hey, how about we implement Revelation 13:16? How about we get you all on this digital thing and have a new money system, and we'll all, instead of all having these differences, we're all just going to have one worship system, one God, one everything. Everything is one. Why can't we all just be together? Right? All right, so we don't need this. I'm going to actually copy these and put these also in the description box. So it'll be relatively full. So don't forget to check that out. Okay. What do we need? Oh, yeah, we don't need you. That's next. All right, so let's see what old Creepy Joe has to say. The world is at a crossroads, and the next few years will determine its fate for several generations to come, which, I mean, he's not lying, except in the very near future, all of this is going to come to a head, and we'll get to we'll get to 2nd Esdras 13, right? Because all of these nations are going to be going at it, right? And then you have the beast, according to Jeremiah 50 or 51, you will have the beast, which is the system, NATO and the EU, headed by Babylon the Great, which is the whore that rides on the back of the beast. Somehow, some way, she is going to get turned on. And remember, the current state of Israel and Babylon the Great are tied. They are going to receive the same punishment because they are the same nation, just different tribes. They are Esau, Edom. And so they're sitting here back and forth fighting with each other about who's Edom. You're both Edom. You're both on a fast-paced train to an annihilation. Thus says the Bible. Every time you read the scriptures, it always talks about how Edom will be a desolation, or their land will be a desolate land. Let's see, speaking ahead of the meeting of the Chilean president, Gabriel Boric, on Thursday, Biden stated that there comes a time, maybe every 6 to 8 generations, where the world changes in a very short time. What happens in the next 2 or 3 years are going to determine what the world looks like for the next 5 or 6 decades. Well, more so in eternity. Because I believe through faith, in the next few years, that's when things really finna pop off. And, of course, these devils, they think that their houses shall continue forever, according to the scriptures. And I want to grab you Strauss-Howe generational theory, which what it reminded me of when he said that, because each generation, they pass things on, and either make things harder. It's that whole weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men. It's just a never-ending cycle, right? But that's a very gross oversimplification of this generational theory. All right, describes reoccurring generation cycle. So, there's nothing new under the sun. I actually will pull it up here. No, we'll just keep our finger. We're gonna get there. I promise you, we're gonna get to second Esdras. Second Esdras 1 and 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything wherefore it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us. And that can be said for so many different things, which is why Babylon the Great, or America also is known as Babylon the Great, or spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. All of the wickedness done in these different nations is all wrapped up into one big ugly bow, stamped Babylon the Great, stamped America Incorporated, 1776. According to the theory, historical events are associated with recurring generational personas, archetypes. Each generational persona unleashes a new era called a turning, lasting around 20 to 25 years, in which a new social, political, and economic climate exists. They are part of a larger cyclical or cyclum, along human life, which usually spans between 80 and 100 years. Although some cycles have lasted longer, the theory is that a crisis recurs in American history every cyclum, which is followed by a recovery. During this recovery, institutions and communitarians' values are strong. What's a communitarian? I think I know. It's a philosopher that emphasizes the connection between individual and the community. Okay, yeah, so that's what I figured. Oh, wait. Overriding philosophy that is based on the belief that a person's social identity and personality are largely molded by the community community relationships, with a smaller degree of development being placed on individualism. But then you're going to go fast forward, and then it'll be about individualism, and they just continue on with this cycle. And since the earth is in the hand of the wicked, and they understand these things, they make a diligent search. It is easy to control the masses. All right. Ultimately, succeeding generational archetypes attack weakened institutions in the name of autonomy and individualism, which eventually creates a tumultuous political environment that ripens conditions for another crisis. And with that crisis, you have lawmakers. And the lawmakers will say, well, we don't want this to happen again, so we need to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And, the people go along with it. All right, Strauss and Howe, or Strauss and Ho, however you say his name, Howie, who cares, laid the groundwork for their theory in their book, Generations, The History of America's Future. So you can find that, and it's 1584 to 2069. They wrote it in 91, which discusses the history of the United States as a series of generational biographies going back to 1584. Oddly scripted, like we're in one big movie. Aren't we? Doesn't it seem that way? What else did this bastard say? Commenting on Biden's remark at the time. Yada yada. Blase babu de woo. However, Peskov suggested that Biden meant building a world order revolving around the U.S., insisting that this will not be anymore. Russia has consistently called for a multilateral world order, which President Vladimir Putin accusing the West of a colonial approach at bending international rule to its will, which is absolutely the truth. Oh, look at that. Biden also spoke last month, right here, second to last paragraph. Second to last paragraph. About the need for a new world. Okay. Suggesting that while the post World War II system had functioned for decades, it has sort of run out of steam. So we already read that. Okay. And they always talk about how that new order is on the rise, and digital slavery and all that wonderful and great stuff that they think that they're going to do. But the Lord controls all, and they are in a trick bag, playing right into his hand, not even knowing that this is what the Lord wanted all along, to allow you to build yourself up, and allow you to think that you were going to ascend above the clouds and be like the Most High, according to the book of Malachi. But it's about to be over for you. 2nd Ezra 13, where we were trying to get all along. And I beheld, we're starting at 3, and lo, that man, wait, let's see, and lo, there rose a wind from the sea. Okay. Where we at? And I below that man waxed strong with thousands of heavens. When he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Now this is Yahushua's return, his highly sought after, his highly much needed return to this earth in order to restore it the way it needs to be in order to properly function, to restore his people to where they need to be, back in their land, to restore the people that are currently in charge back underfoot, making all, or should I say making everything right. And whenever the voice went out of his mouth, this is verse 4, and they burnt and heard his voice. All they burnt and that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth with fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was a gathering together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. That's him. That's Yahushua returning on that farther ship, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. So that giant, if that's even a word that can be described, with this chariot was so huge, Esdras could not tell where it came from. And I often mention, I remember having a dream that they don't come out of the sky. They're more so, like it's not that they're coming from outer space. It's like they came from, when I see it in a dream, it's an interdimensional travel. It's like the sky unzips and then things just appear. Or like if you take a bag of Skittles and then you pour them out, and it's like chariots are pouring out of the sky. But what an amazing sight it would have been to see something that you can't even tell its origin just coming out of the sky. And it just keeps on coming out. There's no end of it. There's no end. You just see the chariot and it just keeps on coming, and you can't even wrap your mind around the size. It sounds crazy though, but I'm talking about the chariot. You can't wrap your mind around how large the chariot is. All right. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet there's fight. So the Lord is going to put the spirit on these people, or on these armies, to stop going at each other and to try to go at him or at the heavenly host. But of course they'll be terrified. And if there was such a thing as free will, they would be able to just not fight and run. They would have control over their bodies, or they would just be paralyzed with fear. Because every time you see an encounter with a single angel, certain of our ancestors, certain of the prophets that are that write about it, was like, oh, I'm going to die. Or they were just paralyzed with fear. Or they fell to their face because they were just, it was just a terror. They were It was a terrifying sight. And the angel always had to say, fear not, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to give you a message or something like that, right? And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. All right, so this is the return of Yahushua. So it is inevitable, okay? This third woe, according to Revelation 11, around the 14th verse, two of them passed, the third cometh quickly. We're in the midst of it. All right, so we still have that. Jacob's trouble is well on its way, and Jacob's trouble will be intensified via these political and economical crises across the pond, because that also has an effect here. So the Lord has made many moving parts come together into one. All right, we still have that. We still have the implementation of the digital device, merging man with machine. And then boom, we have the return of our Lord and Savior, destroying everything that needs to be destroyed, setting up a righteous rulership, and returning, I don't know if I already said that, but restoring the earth in a way, restoring the earth the way it was supposed to be, as it was supposed to be from the beginning. So with that being said, I pray that you were edified. Shalom.